You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. Your love changes everything. There's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing.
about your love. Morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Come on. Hold on one second. Can I get some more light? Hold on, buddy. Um, there we go. Oh, I don't know if you can see me anymore. There we go. All right, not the greatest, but we're gonna make it do. Vivian, thanks for joining us. Nathan, good morning. Olivia, good morning. Chuck, Bert, Reggiani, come on. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Friday. It's a great day so far. And today I just have a simple, but I feel like it's so profound exhortation or encouragement. Just that, like, so some of you guys know my testimony, some of you don't. But for 6 months, I traveled the U.S., right? So I went from New York to California, stopping city by city. And for 6 days a week, about 8 hours a day, we would preach the gospel. That was it. We didn't support raise, or we didn't ask anybody for anything. We just went with a backpack and a Bible, and it was like, God, if this is your will, then it's your bill, and you got to take care of us. Pops is on. Hey, look at that. Mom's on there too. Thank you, Emily. Good morning. And so we go on this 6-month journey, and one thing that I am convinced of is that the harvest is truly ripe. Like that America, don't believe the hype, don't believe the lies that America is hard, like that it's hard soil, that people don't want to hear the gospel, that they don't want to encounter Christ. But the reality is it's the opposite, that people are actually desperate to have a genuine encounter with the love of God. They're actually they're desperate. They're in this place of desperation where they're seeking, they're longing for a messenger like you, right? Like Olivia, like Nathan, like Bert, like my parents, like Emily. They're longing for a messenger to come and share with them the good news of Christ. They're longing for that, and so my encouragement is, like, God is on the move, and He wants to use us. He wants to you to be a part of this. He wants you to be a part of somebody else's come to Jesus moment and come to Jesus story. And so get out there. Don't feel like you have to shy away from tough conversations or shy away from things. Don't even feel like you have to answer all the questions. You just have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone so that the Comforter can come and give you just winning strategies. There were so many times where I'm sitting in a grocery store or whatever. I remember I was at a coffee shop, and I was talking with a brother in Christ, and we're just talking. We're talking at eavesdrop level, right? I'm speaking so other people can hear, but we just start preaching the gospel to each other, and this lady who was sitting close to us, like, she comes over and she starts asking us all these questions, like, man, like, I've always struggled with my faith. I always struggle, like, people have taking me to church and all this stuff, but I have these questions, and then we couldn't answer the questions right perfectly. We just said, can we just pray and we can ask the Lord? Like, it doesn't have to be this thing. And that was like so profound for her, because it was like, if we would have just gave her an answer, she would have just gone off and like, oh, that was okay, but that didn't really hit. The actual question that she didn't ask, or that she wanted answered, was just the reality that she has access to the King, like that she could talk to Him directly, right? It didn't have to come through a mediator. It didn't have to come through like a priest or a pastor. Like, she could actually pray to God herself. And so often that's the case, right? Like, people just don't know what they have access to. And so our job as messengers are just to be those billboards, right? Pointing people to Christ, the one who has all the answers. And so we just got to step out of our comfort zone. We have to actually, say, hey, man, like, I'm going to be intentional about sharing my faith with somebody this week, or this day, whatever. And so when you go into a grocery store, you're expecting to have an encounter with God. You're expecting to have an encounter. And so if some random stranger comes and starts talking to you, you're like, man, maybe this is like God is sending this person to me, right? Or if somebody, sticks out to you, like you've run into this person 3 or 4 times in the midst of 2 grocery aisles. It's like, man, maybe I need to start a conversation, and maybe that conversation is just, hey man, I keep running into you, like how are you doing today, right? And that's it, right? And they can say, I'm doing great, I'm having the best day of my life, and you can just leave it at that. But you stepped out, you created an opportunity for God to highlight a conversation or start a conversation that could go deep, shallow. We don't know. But we're being faithful to the little nudges that God is putting on our hearts, right? If it's at, the checkout, and the person's kind of looking down, and you're like, man, what's going on? You look kind of down, right? Whatever, like be hyper aware of like your senses and like what is happening, like what's standing out to you, what is kind of like being highlighted to you, what's popping out, what's staying, whatever. And so just being aware of what's kind of happening. Are people coming up to me and talking to me, right? Like when people come up to me in a grocery store and they ask me where to find something. If they ask me to find something in a grocery store, then I know it's a God appointment, because nobody would ever come like look at me. Like, it doesn't look like I know where anything is at a grocery store, right? And so I know that God has sent them. That like God knows that I'm a messenger of the gospel, and he's sending this person to me for an encounter, right? Yeah, we might try to help them find some green beans or something, but we're going to be talking about Jesus, right? Because that's the only reason that this person will be drawn to me in a grocery store. And so I want you to walk with that expectation that God is sending people to you because you are a messenger of the gospel. That's who you are. That's who you were created to be. That's you. You are a messenger of the Lord. And so people will be coming to you, right? In Isaiah 60, it says, arise and shine, for the glory of the Lord has come. And it says deep darkness has covered the earth. But it says, that his glory will be shine on you, right? And it says that mighty kings will be drawn to the rising of that light. And so let his light so shine through you wherever you are today. All right. So I love you guys. I hope this was an encouragement to you. And I'm coming, buddy. All right. I gotta go. Love y'all. See you later. Bye.